Almost no real elevation gain to speak of, except for there's maybe this 100 meters here, which is, just a nice little probably 4 to 5% grade. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. So today we've got a nice little tempo run on the agenda. So did a short little workout on Tuesday, just kind of a little ladder workout. That went really well actually. Hit some paces that felt great. Nice easy recovery run yesterday, and now today I'm getting out. It's actually going to be like 6 degrees outside and the pavement is clear, so I'm going to run down to the other side of the road into the decommissioned military base where there's barely any traffic except for a little bit of industrial at this point. And yeah, I mapped out a little bit of a route on Strava that I think is going to be relatively flat. It's about a mile loop, so I'm going to do 3 and a tiny bit, so make it like a little 5K tempo run. But where I'm waiting till the afternoon, it's going to be about 2:30 by the time I get out there. You know, it's been a little bit of an odd day as far as getting my nutrition and eating right before this run. So this morning I started off, usual, cup of coffee. I did have a couple of pieces of toast with some peanut butter. And, that felt good. But of course that was early. That was like, 9 o'clock when I had the toast. So then I did have like just a few cracked almonds, like actually just in a little tray in the next room there in the games room that's still left over from Christmas. So I just had maybe like, a handful of almonds or something, and a couple of plant-based cheesies just to put a little something in the stomach. And then, so not really feeling hungry, but was a little bit like, I wanted to make sure I had enough energy. So I did use, and I will grab it here in a second, and I'll insert an overlay because I don't have one on me, which was dumb. I should have prepared, but it's like a no, I'm gonna have to grab one. What is it? Oh yes, Vega is a Vega. So I got a bunch of these for Christmas, and this is the acai berry energizer pre-workout. And I want to tell you, you just mix that with some cold water and off to the races. So it's 1:30 now. I wanted to get it in my system a little bit before I started my run, and I can already feel that caffeine starting to kick in. I mean, I was feeling a little bit sluggish because I'm working today. I'm sitting here in my office. I'm doing some work, sitting in my laptop, and I just kind of feeling a little bit sluggish, thinking like, all right, I really got to get things moving along for this 2:30 run. And wow, that does it. I am not like a caffeine sensitive person. I drink coffee every morning, but this is, it's kicking in. So that's good. All right. And I'm also going to run, I'll move on from that. I'm going to run in the Saucony Kinvara 11s. I love these shoes, nice and light. Got a nice toe off feel in these, a little firm. Sauconys are a little bit firmer. These aren't like plush shoes. It's not like that Pebax foam you're gonna find in, or the Zumax or something like that. Rather, that you're gonna find that's really squishy. This is gonna be some decent ground feel, but still enough cushion there to feel comfortable. This is a 10K to half marathon shoe for me for sure, and I like using the Kinvaras for tempo efforts. So. Get out there, do a nice 5K, and then I'll take you along. Again, it's going to be like 6 degrees out, a little bit of wind, so that might play a factor, but I try to get a good like flat-ish route, so we'll see how it goes. All right, we're back. We're outside. Warm-up is done. It's a good temperature for this. 5 degrees, little breeze, but it's perfect for what I wore. I think I nailed the layers perfectly. I do have thin little dollar store gloves on. They'll probably come off soon. I find the first 5 or 10 minutes can be really uncomfortable for me, but I've now been running for about 10 minutes as part of my warm-up, so yeah, I mean, hands are pretty good now, but I'll leave them on as long as they're not too warm. Yeah, it's a nice day. Pavement is really nice and dry right now. A couple little spots on my warm up where I passed, a little bit of water that was draining across the street, like, little stuff like this. Not a big deal. Cool thing is, where I'm doing this, a loop, is it's basically like down this one street alongside the building and then coming back up the other side of it, but it makes a nice long loop. And the way I'm going to be doing my loop is that I'm going to be having almost no real elevation gain to speak of, except for there's maybe this 100 meters here, which is, just a nice little probably 4 to 5% grade for about 100 meters at the end of a lap. And then I do kind of a figure eight again. So, I think it's going to be nice. It's going to be a good workout, just kind of letting the heart rate come back down a little bit, do a couple little stretches here before getting into the interval. But feeling good. That Vegas Sport pre-workout energizing drink has done its job for sure, because, I got a nice little caffeine buzz off of that. All right, 2 miles into this 3 mile tempo session, and I am just taking a little bit of a break here. Couple of reasons, but the main one is that I've noticed my heart rate is spiking quite a bit higher than I was wanting it to for this. I think it's just a combination of the wind being definitely stronger than I thought it was. At least it's picked up in the last few minutes. So this last loop around has been pretty effortful, shall we say. So definitely, sorry, I got a loud ass truck next to me here. So definitely, was more of an effort than it should have been. And had a hard time just kind of staying in on the pace for that reason. So heart rate spiking up a little bit. Also, this is one of the longer sustained efforts I've done in quite a while. So, and it's not like it's flat here. I mean, I chose probably the flattest little figure eight route I could, but there are still some undulations, and then you factor in that wind. So I'm really trying to keep it in that sort of zone 4 as far as pacing goes. And I think that my heart rate was actually getting up, probably more like a 5K, 3K to 5K effort kind of a heart rate. And that's not what I was looking for today. So kind of blending the two sort of parameters and just letting things settle back down here, and then I'll finish up the last mile. Temperature wise though, everything's great. Obviously the gloves are off. Feeling good, and no complaints. There are some wet spots. My feet are a little bit wet, but it's not cold, so it's not a big deal. And they're not like completely soggy like the workout I tried to do last week around this time, where it was also a warm day, but it was just, the roads were just rivers. So yeah, anyway, feeling good. I'm just gonna take another maybe 30 seconds here to let the heart rate come back down and stabilize just a little bit. Finish up the last mile, and I'll catch up with you guys after the run. All right, everybody, so just a quick little recap on that run. Again, almost 5K in tempo. My loop that I'd figured out on Strava beforehand did not actually translate to the exact distance that Strava had said. I was expecting each loop to be a mile. It ended up that it was about 1.5 kilometers, so a little bit short. And I just did the 3 loops. I didn't bother trying to tack on the extra 400 and some meters that I needed once I got to the end there. Those 3 loops were enough. But yeah, I mean, overall it was good. That was the longest sustained effort I've done in a while. Probably since I ran the 10K race back in late August, I think it was. So yeah, I mean, I really haven't been doing a lot of sustained running. In October I started the run streak, and I was running every day, and every now and then, throw in a little bit of an element of speed, but no actual real workouts. So getting into training again now with a good aerobic base and getting some good sustained efforts in is feeling nice. Again, I did mention that my heart rate had looked like it was spiking a couple of times there pretty high. And now again, that's only based upon wrist cadence or wrist heart rate, with the Suunto watch. I mean, I don't have a chest strap, so I don't know for sure that it was actually that high, but it did touch what is getting closer to my max heart rate. And I mean, I was feeling it, but it's not, that's not really sounding any alarms for me at this point. This is only week 2 of training, and yeah, I've got a decent, aerobic base, but I mean, I'm 12 weeks away from the race, and so even though that pace today, which that tempo block today was really only around that target half marathon pace, so even though that definitely was an effort today, it's so early. I'm so far away. So much progress can be made in 12 weeks. I mean, I know that. I've been here before, and I'm not at all concerned about regaining that speed endurance and regaining that running economy as I continue to work on sustained efforts, longer intervals, and just get used to running faster again. I mean, really, there were a lot of reasons today why the run could have been slightly better. It was a little bit wet underfoot. There was some good headwind in spots. I didn't have an exactly flat route, but despite those things, it still was really good. And I hit my goal of running 20 to 25 minutes at an elevated pace in that sort of 430 to 450 kind of kilometer pace. So that's exactly what I did. Mission accomplished. So overall, it was about 7.5 kilometers total for the run. With the warm up and the cool down, came in at just over 5 minutes, or just over 8 minutes per mile. Feeling good now. Came home, first thing, had some water, and then also just a huge, massive bowl of a like butter chicken, but with tofu sort of dish that I made up the other day. A couple posts back on my Instagram post now. I'll put a picture of it here as well. Absolutely delicious, simple meal, just some rice, chickpeas, tofu, some veggies, coconut milk, a little bit of crushed tomato, and just some seasonings, like some seasonings that you would find in a butter chicken kind of a dish. And then I do add, once I've got it heated up, I do add just a little bit of like a plain oat yogurt that is kind of like, just plain unsweetened. So it kind of emulates sort of like a Greek yogurt style. Just adds that extra bit of creaminess, and I think it really takes the dish to the next level. Just a couple good scoops full, spoonfuls stirred in, mix it in once it's warm. But yeah, so feeling good now. Normally I wouldn't be running at 2:30 in the afternoon. It's kind of an odd time, and it's a little bit hard to keep the energy up. So that's why I took one of those pre-workout things with the high caffeine content. Probably another reason why the heart rate was really high. But it's fine. For what it was today, it was a success. And as the weather hopefully continues to develop into spring-like weather, and I've got some clear roads now, hopefully it stays that way for the most part, and I can get outside more and get some better quality efforts in. The treadmill's good. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm grateful to have the treadmill and grateful to have that option when the weather's bad or it's just really cold out, but I do prefer being outside. So, but I'm a little bit of a wimp with the cold, even though I have run in some extremely cold weather. So now I'm kind of like wanting to stick to the treadmill. But all right, that's it. I'll wrap it up there. Appreciate you guys watching and following along. This training is going to continue to just develop. Mileage is going to go up. The workouts are going to continue being varied, usually on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then maybe a little bit of pace on Sundays and longer runs. But all of that will develop and grow as the plan continues. Again, we're just in week number 2, so still taking it relatively easy and just sort of getting a feel for things. But that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Peace.